This is the Six Man Show, an Orlando Magic podcast, with your hosts Luke Sylvia and Jonathan Osborne, covering all things Magic basketball. By fans, for fans. Go Magic. What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? You guys are back with the Six Man Show. It is February 24th, 2022. We are back. Luke Sylvia, how are you?
You sound, there's just a pep in your step, right? That break, did that break serve you well?
A little break. I kind of missed it. I needed a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was a good break. It was well needed, I guess. And then, as you know, Jonathan, my grandmother has passed. You put out a tweet about that. That was very kind of you. Thank you. My grandmother passed, or Grammy as we call her. She passed away. She had a pretty long bout with dementia, and then it got bad in the last year and a half. So as a result, this weekend I will be in sunny Florida. And it'll be cool, man, just because a lot of my family will be down for the funeral that is on Sunday. A lot of my cousins that I haven't seen a year, 2 years, that I'm very close with, haven't been able to link up with them in the last couple of years. Life's been pretty crazy for all of us. So excited to be back in Florida, mainly because also it has been 0 degrees in Nebraska the past 2 days, literally. And it will not be that this weekend. I think it's supposed to hit 85 or 90 in Florida this weekend. I'm very pumped. Lauren's pumped because our daughter Harper can wear her summer clothes, and she was afraid she would outgrow them because she's big on the charts, and we weren't sure if she was going to actually be able to wear them come summertime in Nebraska. So, gonna get some use out of that. A lot of fun, I think, that we're gonna have this weekend with a quick trip to the state of Florida. So,
I like it. So yeah, Monday's episode. I'll be joined by producer Kevin. So producer Kevin, he's always a big hit. So we'll be rocking it out for you while holding it down while you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hear that, man. And yeah, just anytime anything happens in the Magic Twitter family, especially, I always like to send out a tweet. Whoever, obviously, you're my guy. So.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to let people know what was going on so they could have you in their thoughts and prayers and whatnot. So
absolutely.
Well, Luke, we're gonna make people annoying or annoyed. Well, I mean, I guess they kind of are annoying in a sense. We're gonna talk not about the Magic basketball team for a couple of minutes here. It is NBA related, so if you're one of the folks that doesn't like to listen to us not talk about the Magic, that is totally fine. We appreciate you guys listening to when we talk about the Magic. But yeah, we're going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, just for a few minutes here, Luke. I don't think we need to spend that much time on it. It was just atrocious. There were some bright spots, but it started off horrible. The Celebrity All-Star Game was absolutely terrible. The Rising Star scene that they did was actually pretty fun. The first game, with Cole and with Jalen,
mm-hmm.
Jalen Green was on that team. Jalen Suggs has a chance to win it. For their team, and then misses 2 free throws at the end, and then the other team came back the other way, and basically their team lost. But we got to see our boy Franz Wagner, maybe not as much as we would have liked, but Franz hits the game clinching free throws to win the whole Rising Stars tournament. So that was pretty fun. Rising Stars was pretty fun.
I want to add something on the Celebrity Game first. I was watching the game, and it dawned on me, I don't know who has the ball right now. I don't know who this person is. Please, I think it was ESPN that put on the Celebrity Game. ESPN, if you're listening to this, please just put when someone's dribbling the ball. I know you'd have to hire a person specifically to do this for the whole game, but it's All-Star Weekend, right? Get different. Put give us a graphic with the name of who's got the ball, the last name. Because, obviously, if, Quavo has the ball or MGK has the ball, we know who Jack Harlow has the ball. We might know who it is, but even still, MGK was out on the court, and as unique as his look is, at first I had no idea who it was. I thought it was 2019 Justin Bieber, with the bleached blonde hair, and I was like, Bieber's in this? And they MGK, and I was like, please, ESPN, whoever does this Celebrity Game next year, make it a little easier to know who has the ball, especially if you're going to use lesser known celebrities, which is just the fact of the matter.
I'm curious to know what has changed, because it seems like every year, the celebrities get less and less celebrity-ish,
mm-hmm.
I guess you could say. Every year it's there's more and more people in the All-Star game, celebrity All-Star game that I don't know who they are.
It's got to be like the dunk contest. You know?
Is it so like is social media ruining All-Star weekend?
Why do you say that?
Because it just feels like, I don't know, like guys are just too cool. Like okay, let's switch gears here. Let's talk about like the skills challenge, right?
Right.
Like you and I picked the rookies to win the whole thing, and the rookies couldn't care less about the skills challenge.
Yeah.
Like you're a rookie, it's your first year at All-Star weekend. Like you're supposed to go all out, and like Josh Giddey, Scotty Barnes, and Cade Cunningham are like just going through the motions.
All right. While Giannis is
like
like
the
busting his butt.
Antetokounmpos are going all out. The Cavs are going all out. The Cavs won the whole thing. But I just feel like maybe like this age of social media, like people are afraid to, go out and look bad or, look stupid during the celebrity All-Star game. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it like those two contests, really the celebrity All-Star game and the dunk contest are like really falling off. I used to be legitimately excited for the celebrity All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you'd have like J. Cole, in the All-Star game, or like Chris Brown,
Kevin Hart.
Or Kevin Hart. Or you would have like Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady was in the celebrity All-Star game one year. We got Anderson freaking Varejao. Are you kidding me? We can't do better than Anderson Varejao? Like, I know he would never do it, but why can't we get Michael Jordan in a celebrity All-Star game and just drop 50? How much fun would that be?
Because that man doesn't like fun. That's why.
Maybe.
He didn't.
I don't know.
What was it? For a while, MJ wouldn't let him put him in like 2K video games until like last, like when they put him on the cover and stuff.
Yeah,
That
maybe.
Whack. I don't think he believes in fun. So
Put Barkley in the All-Star game.
Oh,
That'd be
my
That'd be
gosh.
incredible.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible.
Put Barkley and Shaq in there, baby.
Let's get what's the group at the gym for like all the older folks, they come in at like 5 a.m. and silver sneakers. Let's get a silver sneakers All-Star game. Like we had the NBA 75 celebration. Get all these old butts out there on the court. Let's see what you got, Oscar Robertson. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It wasn't a ton of fun. The dunk contest was literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude.
The Timberland idea from Cole was really cool, but it just got really, really, really quiet in that arena very quickly.
Is it wrong to say that I think Cole killed the whole vibe of set the tone for like how bad that dunk contest was going to be?
Well, he took like 5
That's
minutes.
what I'm saying. He took forever to put
really
those.
long
I know
time.
the show at that point is about him, but like the man just tied his Tims for years.
Yeah.
And it was,
Which, I mean, Tims take a long time to put on, but yeah.
but that's part of the thing. You gotta weigh these things out when you're planning this stuff. And it was just like,
yeah.
I was like just cringing the longer it took.
It was really
and I was
bad.
like, dude, this is losing its luster so quickly. It sucks.
When Cole completely missed his second dunk attempt, I turned it off. I did not watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I knew just from what we had seen at the beginning, it was just going to get worse and worse. All of the tweets that I saw confirmed that for me. But I turned All-Star Saturday Night off at that moment when Cole basically was eliminated. And then the three-point contest. The three-point contest was kind of fun. I don't think it was as fun as like last year with Steph, like just going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was Karl Anthony Towns. Like his second round was really, really fun because he absolutely killed it. But unless you have a few guys getting hot, it's not that fun to just sit and watch guys miss threes for whatever it is, a minute and a half straight.
Yeah, the 3-point contest is like, I think it's the most consistently good contest in All-Star Weekend just because it is what it is. Like, guys just step up to the rack and literally just shoot the basketball and see how many they can make out of those I think, whatever it is, 5 racks.
5, yeah.
And then they put in, like, the Mountain Dew balls, from long range, whatever. But, yeah, man, I think all of All-Star Weekend really hinges on who your contestants are. And that's not groundbreaking news by any means, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the dunk contest or the 3-point competition. I don't think there's anything that needs to be done besides just like what they probably really can't control, which is just get better guys. I mean, you don't think that they would ask John Morant, or like that they didn't ask John Morant or any of those guys who are just high flyers. That would be a lot of fun to see. I just can't imagine that they don't ask them. So they're just at the mercy of these players. And like you said, maybe they're just, I understand like health and all that stuff is taking taking a front seat, I guess, in the NBA, which it should. why guys are playing, able to play a little bit longer and load management, all that sort of stuff. But I think that, the last thing they want is to injure themselves going up for a dunk. But, I mean, I would really love to see some of those high flyers in the dunk contest. I'd love to see all, like, the best three-point shooters in the league actually in the three-point contest. Because, like, you win the like, Cat wins the three-point contest, and I think, truthfully, he is, like, top 2 shooting bigs of all time. And
him and Dirk, it's kind of hard to argue.
Yeah, and so, like, yeah, sure, put a big guy in there. It's always more fun when you have one of the big guys in there. Put a Cat in there, whatever you want to do. But give us, like, I just wish these guys would just do it. And guys shooting three-pointers, you're not worried about health at that point. So yeah, I wish that we could kind of get better contestants in there.
I feel like if you're top 8 in the league in terms of three-point percentage, you should just have to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to, like, re-incentivize these guys to actually, like, get them back into, like, wanting to do it each year. Like, no offense to, like, Luke Kennard, but nobody's getting excited except Clippers fans to see Luke Kennard in the three-point contest. Like, you know who should have been in the three-point contest? Klay Thompson. How is Klay Thompson, the year that he comes back, all this hype, he's not quite playing up to, Klay's level yet. He's not playing bad. He's just, he hasn't played in 2 years. He's got some rust to knock off. But how do you not get Klay Thompson in the three-point contest? To me, that is just kind of, like, bizarre. If we can get Alex Antetokounmpo in the skills challenge from the G League, we can get Klay Thompson in the three-point contest. But
the difference is solely willingness. I mean, obviously, Alex
was
like,
I know.
Like, going to pee himself with excitement when he got invited to freaking All-Star Weekend. Freaking ridiculous.
Even Thanasis was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm still in the NBA? How is this possible?
Also, I still don't take back, should have gotten the Holiday brothers together and done that. That was just, is what it is. I love their, the energy of them, but whatever.
Well, the second half of the All-Star game was incredible. Like, Steph going off in the second half, pulling up from almost half court, the turnaround threes, all that kind of stuff. Him breaking the all-time NBA All-Star game threes made in a single game was awesome. And then, like, you can talk all the crap you want about the All-Star game now, but they have legitimately made the fourth quarters of the All-Star games so much fun now.
Yeah, because they want to win, man. And shout out to, you were talking about Steph hitting those those threes where he would, obviously, we know famously he looks away when he knows it's going in, all that kind of stuff, and the theatrics of it. Shout out my boy Nico Tan, Chicago Bulls photographer. He had a picture that went viral over the weekend where Steph was turned around and looking at the crowd and kind of interacting while the ball had, like, just gone through the net. That shot was dope. So shout out Nico. I'm sure you're not listening, but that was so dope, man, to see.
Yeah, that was a really dope snapshot that he took of that moment. And then you have LeBron hitting, like, the crazy fadeaway fall away.
Yeah.
I think it was over Zach LaVine. To hit the game winner in Cleveland, obviously. But, yeah, it's like, I don't think you're going to find better basketball than that fourth quarter, like, anywhere. Like, maybe a Game 7 of a playoff game, but, like, the level of talent that was on the floor at that time is really just crazy. Like, just so much fun. The first half I was kind of had it on in the background, like, whatever, watching. And then, like, I look up in the second half, and Steph is going crazy. And in the fourth quarter, I literally could not look away. So, yeah, NBA All-Star weekend, I feel like to a certain extent has kind of, like, lost its luster. And I know the league is actively tweaking it each year to try to find that perfect balance. I think we're getting closer, but we're not quite there yet. I don't get excited for NBA All-Star weekend anymore like I used to when I was a kid.
Do you think, obviously it has declined in a lot of ways, but do you think, like, kids probably had fun watching All-Star Weekend, like the same type of fun we had, or is it just going to be different?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe for us it's just like, we don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. Like, maybe that, like, childhood magic
He's
for
still
us.
real, by the way.
No pun intended.
So for those, watching, listening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
He's still real, so.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's that, like, we just kind of, maybe we've outgrown All-Star Weekend, and I don't know if kids really enjoy it anymore. Kids are too busy doing TikTok dances and eating Tide Pods and all kinds of stuff like that nowadays. I don't really I don't know what kids like anymore. So, like, me and the boys used to just be outside, playing Kill the Carrier, run around getting all sweaty in the yard. And, I don't know, how many kids are doing that nowadays. They're playing Roblox or whatever the heck they do.
The days. These kids don't know about you have 3 friends, and you just go out, one of you is the all-time QB, and they just run routes against each other. Dude, just the best time. Anyway, I digress.
Oh, or it's, the middle of the summer, and you come home from like a family member's house, and you're looking around the neighborhood for your boys, and you just find the yard with all the bikes just turned sideways.
Exactly.
And you're like, all right, everybody's at Jimmy's.
Yeah, they're out back.
They're
playing football.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Exactly. So, all right, Luke, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the Orlando Magic. Okay, the Magic currently sit at 13-47. They have the worst record in the league, Luke. 22 games to go for the Magic. We've talked about this at multiple points throughout the season. For a long part of the season, in terms of remaining strength of schedule, the Magic were 1 or 2 in the NBA, Luke. Currently, they are 21st in remaining strength of schedule in the league, according to Tankathon.com.
JIA really ain't back now.
We've talked about this all season, Luke, that how, getting into January and into February and after the All-Star break, that the schedule really starts to kind of lighten up for the Magic. So the remaining 22 games on the season, Luke, the Magic play 11 opponents that currently have, as of, this is February 23rd, currently 11 opponents that, as of today, have a record above 500. So 11 teams over 500, 11 teams that are under 500. I'm just going to go through, the schedule here. The Magic also have 7 games, Luke. 7 remaining road games and 15 home games in the last 22 games here. So they will be back Friday night, February 25th, at home to take on the Rockets. Then February 28th, Monday, they take on the Pacers at home, and then they'll play the Pacers at home again that Wednesday. Friday, March 4th, and Saturday, March 5th, a back-to-back at Toronto, at Memphis, then home for Phoenix, at New Orleans, and then you have a 6-game homestand where you take on the Minnesota Timberwolves, the 76ers, the Nets, the Detroit Pistons, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Golden State Warriors. You have 1 road game at Oklahoma City, then you're home for Sacramento, 2-game road trip at Cleveland, at Washington, then 3-game homestand versus Toronto, New York, Cleveland, a road game against Charlotte, and then Sunday, April 10th, you finish the season at home versus Miami, Luke. So we got reports today from Kobe Price and also words from Jamal Mosley stating that as the team got back to practice today, that Markelle Fultz, who is rehabbing from his torn left ACL, that he was a full contact participant in practice today, Luke. So that says that he's been fully cleared for contact. So you have to think, Markelle is just a few weeks away. I don't want to speculate, but usually when a guy is cleared for contact, it means he's not that far away. He did say Jonathan Isaac is still not been cleared for contact at all. So you've really got to start to think of whether or not we're going to see Jonathan Isaac at all this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go with no. I just...
It feels that way.
I just don't see it, man. I mean, the schedule is only going to get, only easier, right? Comparatively to the rest of the 3/4 of the season, basically. The Magic, if they are this committed to the tank, I mean, you can't tell me Markelle Fultz hasn't been ready. Like, he couldn't have been put in contact practice, like full contact sooner. I just think that, we see Markelle back, hopefully in the next month. Who knows? We're creeping up at the end of the season. So, like, it just gets to the point where I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, how do you feel if Markelle comes out towards the end of the season here and something happens? Like, I
mean, of course.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that's what people aren't thinking about. They're just like, I just want to see him play. At this point, man, you're not contributing to the season. You're just getting better. Just continue participating in practice and being listed on the injury report. You've gotten away with worse, right? I mean, teams would get away with holding guys out, sidelining guys for way worse things. So, Markelle Fultz, I think that he could just continue doing full contact for the rest of the year and just not play. But I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they'll appease us and finally give him the some play time.
Well, let me ask you this. At what point do we reach the point of like diminishing returns on keeping a guy out in rehab? Like, especially Jonathan Isaac, if he doesn't play this season, we're going to be looking at like 25, 26 months that he missed rehabbing the ACL.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Markelle, if he doesn't come back, you know, it's going to be like 18 months. Let me see. It'd be close to like 20 months at that point if he comes back at the start of next season. So, like, at one point, do like a 23 and a 24-year-old guy in Markelle and Jonathan Isaac, at one point, is it to their detriment holding them out this long? And then you have to weigh that versus the risk of re-injuring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're at that point. Like, I think it's crazy that we're at this point in the year and we still don't have a timetable on these guys. We still haven't seen these guys. If you would have told me in the end of October that it was going to be, the beginning of March and we still wouldn't see Jonathan Isaac or Markelle Fultz, I would have said absolutely no way. Like, I would have bet the house, and I would be now living underneath a bridge. But like, I would have bet anything that we would see those guys before this point. And I think it's fair. At some point, you've got to be like, at what point is this hurting these guys more than it is helping them?
Right. And I don't know if it has to do with the fact that, like, maybe they'll justify it by, like, oh, well, Markelle's back in, like, full contact, and he's going 100% or whatever, and he's getting meshed with the team chemistry, all that kind of stuff. There was a point, Jonathan, where you were like, if they aren't back by like January, I can't remember if you said January, February, I will.
January 1st. I was going to burn the place to the ground.
I will be severely upset. I just don't know. Like, what if they hold them out until the Magic have secured a top 3 like odds, like best odds?
I'm glad that you brought that up because I was just thinking this. I'm not going to say if. This is engineering losing.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is happening here. This is tanking, and it's, I don't want to say purist because it's just like it feels disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It feels dirty. Like, this is tanking to the extreme.
OKC last year type thing.
This is worse than that in my opinion because
they
it's
haven't
two
touched
guys
the court and
rather than one guy.
Yeah, they haven't contributed at all this year.
Yeah, and this is what I have to say. You do this tanking, you better, like, this better be the biggest home run of all home runs.
I don't know what...
if you draft Paolo or Jabari or Jaden Ivey or Chet Holmgren, whoever it is, right, you better knock that pick out of the park because if you don't, and all of a sudden in a year they're now feeling like, oh, we still don't have a guy, that, like, I don't want to say this, but, like low-key, you deserve to be fired.
Yeah.
Like, that is obviously dramatic and, like, to the extreme, but if you're going through all of this trouble because you are so convinced that getting a top pick in this draft is what is going to push you to the next level, I got to tell you, Luke, I cannot sit through another year of this.
So if you walk through me. So if the Magic finish the season with the tied for the best odds, the lowest they could fall is what, 7th pick? I think 6th or 7th.
It depends. It depends. Let's pull up. I'm going to go to our handy dandy tankathon.
While you're doing that, what I will say, and part of this point is, you got to think.
Right now, the lowest the Magic could pick would be 5th.
5th currently. Okay, so
with a 47.9% chance of receiving the 5th pick. By the way, basically 50-50.
Correct. So my thought process is, John and Jeff, much like with picking Franz at 8, must be formulating like, hey, in the top 5 picks, or whatever they've decided, we're comfortable because we have like a guy that we know will be there, or we could trade our pick, whatever it could be. We know they'll be there, and that's why we just want to do that.
Let me stop you right there. If you're comfortable getting a guy at the 5th pick, you're comfortable thinking your guy is going to be there at 5, he ain't the guy. Historically speaking.
Right.
Like, sure, you have your drafts. Like, I think Dwayne Wade went 5th, if I'm not mistaken, to Miami in 2003. Yep. But like, if we just go down like the history of 5th picks in the NBA, like historically speaking, on average, you're picking a guy at 5. He ain't the guy, and that's just kind of the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'm more so in the thinking that they feel like they have assets to trade up no matter what happens. Like they are willing to like make major moves to move up to get a top pick. Like I would not be at all surprised if the Magic do fall to like 5.
Yeah.
And there is some type of deal in place they can move up to like 1, 2, or 3 where we see probably not Franz, but I would probably say anyone on the team plus that pick could be moved in order to move up.
I have one more question.
And the reason that I say that is because they have so deeply, what's the word that I'm looking for? Committed, so deeply committed to tanking as hard as possible. They have to be trying to get the best odds that they possibly can.
Yeah.
Because the Magic, no matter what happens at this point, like there is not any conceivable reality where the Magic fall outside of like the bottom 5 in the league. They're not going to go on some crazy run and win, 15 out of the last 22 games. Especially with Jonathan Isaac not even being cleared for contact.
Yeah. I want to add real quick 5th picks. The 5 best 5th picks in history.
Yep, here we go.
Okay, I found it. NBA.com.
I know I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, we'll see. Kevin Garnett, number 1.
What year?
What year was Kevin Garnett? 95.
Okay.
D Wade, 03.
Okay. Is that the closest 5th you have to Kevin Garnett that is significant?
Charles Barkley, number 3.
When was that?
84.
Okay, so we're talking about 11 years that you went without hitting a home run at 5.
True. Now, number 4, Scottie.
But we're talking 8 years.
Yep,
from
Scottie
95
Pippen.
to 203.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
next one's
that's a lot of time.
Scottie Pippen, 87. And Ray Allen.
This is at 4.
Yeah, and Ray Allen, number 5, in 96.
You're not making me feel any better.
I'm not making myself feel any better, but I know people were probably thinking, hey, who are the best 5th picks of all time? So that's what I'll say. Those are the best 5th picks. My other question to you, Jonathan, is...
Who would be like in the next tier at 5? Because you've got Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade. Those are like all-timers.
Right.
Who is like the best player in like the next tier? Right. Like guys that maybe made an all-star game. If you're just looking at that list, who are you thinking?
Like, I don't. They only list 5.
I'm gonna pull up. You go ahead with your point. I'm just gonna look through like all of the drafts. No, that's what I'm gonna do now.
Well, my point is not really a point. It's a question for you. Coming into lottery time last year, obviously there was a watch party. Would you do a watch party, a 6-man show watch party? Doesn't necessarily have to be the same place. Last year. Had a great time there, but what do you think?
Of course, we're going to do a draft party because we're going to have decent odds to get the number 1 pick. Just as good odds as anybody else.
But will you wake up on the morning of the lottery and be like, just like last year, the Magic are getting the number 1 pick?
Highly doubtful. No,
you're going to be like the Magic are getting the 5th pick. That's going to be.
I'm just
maybe you need to think the opposite.
Chips fall where they may.
Maybe you need to wake up and be like, the Magic are getting the 5th pick today. Anything better is gravy.
I will wake up and I will be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
I will be ready to get absolutely hosed, and I'll be ready to get the number 1 pick. And the internet is making it way too difficult for me to
it's not
do
real
what
clear
I'm trying
cut.
to do right now. So I'm not going to go through this, but just my gut feeling is that throughout history, your odds of hitting the home run at 5 are not great. And again, they've made such a commitment to tanking and trying to secure a top pick. My feeling is like, they're willing to risk it all this year. That's how I feel. The look on Jeff Weltman's face when the Magic received the 5th pick last year, in that moment, he made a commitment to himself. He's like, I will never feel this way again. And he is determined to end up with a top pick. I feel like if we don't have evidence of anything else,
he can't do anything more, which is hilarious. Like, he had the best odds.
But I feel like they have a lot more firepower this year, especially because it feels like Cade was just overwhelmingly the number one pick for so long. I've seen Jaden Ivey in some mock drafts. I've seen Chet. I've seen Paolo. I've seen Jabari Smith Jr. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a consensus number one overall pick this year.
Am I sick to think that I wouldn't mind the Magic getting the 5th pick just to see what kind of trade package they put together to move up if they have a guy that they think is in the top 3?
You are sick. Yes, you are sick.
I just want to see.
Because I don't want to know. I would rather just get the first pick, not have to give up anything to get the guy that you believe is the guy.
I think it would.
And at number 1, I trust John and Jeff to get that guy.
Yeah, as you should.
At number 5, I trust in them to get fair value for that pick, whether it's not, they wouldn't trade it back, I don't think, but getting a guy worthy of the 5th pick at 5, I don't think they're going to like miss on that.
By the way, if the front office did what they're doing and then traded back from the 5th pick, how comedic would that be?
That's a great point.
You're sick for putting that into the universe, by the way. So I'm sick for my scenario. You're sick for yours.
That would be. I think there would be projectile vomit at whatever draft party we're at. So it's probably going to be Harry Buffalo, I would guess, but book a few extra busboys that night just in case. But I mean, I mentioned earlier that if you're okay with getting your guy at 5, he's probably not the guy. If we pick at 5, my gut would be like, okay, we're not getting like this franchise
just another piece
changing guy. And like right now, by all accounts, like it's a 4-player draft right now. Not maybe in the same extent that it was last year, where you like now we know, and we talked about this through text message during the Rising Stars game, that this is going to go down as a historic draft class.
Yeah,
like so many of the young guys are just too good already for this not to pan out that way. So we were wrong thinking that last year, but again, hindsight is 20/20. We're going into the draft, and it seems like those are the top 4 guys: Chet, Jabari, Paolo, Jaden Ivey, in some kind of order. And then the few guys after that are still pretty good, still really good, have a chance to be really good in the league. But it still feels like you got to be in like the top 2 or 3 to get the guy that you really want. I feel like if you're at 2 or 3. You could talk me into anybody falling to you at 3. You know? Like Jaden Ivey, like people like Kevin actually saw Jaden Ivey in person a few weeks ago. He was in Indiana, and I believe it was Purdue versus Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And he wasn't like blown away by Jaden Ivey, but he didn't really play particularly well in that game. But I've seen some highlights, like people have said Ja Morant, and like I see it. I see the explosiveness athletically at least.
Well, yeah,
I'm not saying he's going to be Ja Morant, but that kid is explosive.
Yep, and I want to add onto Jabari Smith Jr. He played against my beloved Gators, who are dog water this year. Auburn ranked number 2 in the country, at least they were until my Gators beat them here recently in Gainesville. But Jabari Smith Jr. had 28 points, Jonathan, and got to the free throw line and shot 11 free throws against the Gators. Had 28 and 7. This year he is averaging 16, 6, and 2 on 44% shooting, which is good considering the fact that he takes a brunt of these, of the shots that happened for Auburn. So I'm very impressed watching him play against the Gators, despite them losing.
What do the kids say nowadays? He is him.
Yeah, he's him for sure.
Jabari Smith Jr., he is him. Like I'm very confident in that. Like the kid just screams like NBA shot making ability.
Yeah.
Now there are some questions about him like creating his own shots, but like at 6'10", a lot of the times he's just like shooting over guys. But like he's got it. Like I really like that kid.
Yep.
So, but in Weltham we trust. We'll continue to trust in Weltham. And Luke, probably like another few weeks here, we're not going to be able to hold out any longer. We'll start running the Tankathon.
Oh yeah, our good buddy Philip Rossman Reich from Orlando Magic Daily already posted one of his spends. I think it was maybe a week or two ago, leading into All-Star break. So I was like, wow, okay, all right, lead the charge, Phil. We're getting into it. So Yeah, we'll see.
All right, I'm not ready to post my exact results, but I'll tell you I'm not happy about what just happened. So another few weeks we'll start doing that every week like we did last year. I'm not bringing back the commando hat or the tank helmet, not bringing that back. But yeah, Luke.
We'll see. The Magic currently, Jonathan, in the league are so the worst teams, obviously Houston, Detroit, and Orlando. So outside of that, like the next odd jump for the Magic to get pushed back, the Magic are 6 games behind that fourth worst record in the league in OKC. So we'll see. Not many games left, so we'll see kind of when the Magic lock in that top 3, because I don't know how long it'll take, but I feel like it won't take long.
Well, in terms of tanking, again, we're looking at the bottom 3-4 teams in the league: the Magic, the Pistons, the Rockets, the Thunder. I don't think anybody else is really going to realistically be in contention, for the number 1 pick. But looking at Orlando, 21st remaining strength of schedule, so they do have the easiest remaining strength of schedule out of those 4 teams. Next up would be Detroit at 17, Oklahoma City at 14, and then Houston at 11. So, they have tougher records than us, but at least, all of those teams aren't sitting at like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because then I would really be, potentially worried about, the Magic are going to lose games, but, we'd be lying to ourselves if we didn't want these other teams to win games.
Yep.
So, they'll still pick up a couple of wins, along the way. And I'm sure the Magic will just continue to engineer losses in between now and the rest of the season. So, Luke, really the only game that we have upcoming between now and the next episode is going to be Friday night as the Magic take on the Houston Rockets at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Luke, I mean, we're talking about, kind of tanking. What do we think happens that first game there?
I'm going to say that the Magic, they win. They're at home. They improved their home record a little bit near the end toward All-Star break in some capacity there. I think that it's. I don't think either team necessarily has anybody out that would be surprising. So I think the Magic are going to get it. I think R.J. Hampton, I don't know if he'll be back, but he was saying today that he feels good to himself. He's 100%. Who knows how the training staff feels, basically is what he said. And said that, he's ready to go. So we'll see if R.J. Hampton is back. If that's the case, the Magic will be healthy outside of the normal guys.
So just to be a contrarian, I'm going to say the Magic lose.
Okay.
They've really been struggling defensively as of late. I don't know if that's going to, change basically overnight between now and Friday. And yeah, just to be a little bit different than you all, I'll pick the Magic to lose. And then, we'll record that episode. And then next week, we've got the Pacers on Monday and Wednesday. Then the Magic will be at Toronto on Friday and at Memphis on Saturday. So there will be a full slate of games next week. So Kevin and I will record Sunday night. You guys will hear from us Friday, and we'll recap the game against the Houston Rockets and anything else crazy that comes out. Also, guys, it has been quite a while since we put together a watch party for a Magic game. Mostly just because the team hasn't been very good, but also life has just been crazy for me the last couple of months, and for Kevin as well. But we are putting together a watch party for the game coming up on March 4th, that Friday when the Magic play at Toronto. That game was rescheduled from earlier in the season when it was canceled due to COVID. But again, Friday, March 4th at 7:30. There's a big concert downtown Orlando that night, so we had some difficulty securing a location. So we're actually going to be in Altamonte Springs. I don't know that I pronounced that correctly, Luke, but we're going to be Altamont Springs at Friendly Confines. That's 451 East Altamonte Drive, or Altamont Drive, Suite 2378. We'll be tweeting out all of the details. We're also going to have a member from the NBA, or from the NBA, from the Orlando Magic sales team, my buddy John McCall. He's going to have some cool Orlando Magic stuff to give away and to raffle and stuff like that. So make sure you guys come and hang out. I think he's trying to get like an autographed ball. Don't hold me to that, but he's said he's trying his best to get something like that for us. So if you want to win some potentially autographed Orlando Magic memorabilia, come hang out. Again, that's going to be March 4th, Friday, starting at 7:30 at the Friendly Confines at 451 East Altamont Drive in Altamont Springs. So make sure you guys come and hang out. Luke, anything else before we sign off here?
I'm just curious. I sometimes tune out when you do. Did you do the Patreon shout out?
I did not do the Patreon shout out. Let's go ahead and shout out our patrons really quickly. So sorry, guys. You got a little bit of rust coming back from the All-Star break. So if you guys don't know, we do have a Patreon where you can financially support the show. You can find us at patreon.com/the Six Man Show. 3 separate tiers with great benefits. And then we shout out our patrons every single episode. This week it wouldn't have happened without Luke, so special shout out to Luke Sylvia. But shout out to Court Cousins, Drew Gooden, Armin, Keith Garcia, Zico, Carson Tulo, Nathan Lynn, Ellis, Jonathan Borges, Norm L, Magic Player History, Giulio, Bailey, Matt Lyman, Eric Segovia, and Gabe Gaines. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And Luke, I think that's going to do it for us this week. So for Luke Sylvia, this has been Jonathan Osborne. You guys are listening to The Six Man Show, and we will catch you guys next time. See ya. Thanks for listening to The Six Man Show. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher to get new episodes downloaded directly to your phone. Please take a minute to give us a 5-star rating and a review. It would really help us out a lot. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Six Man Show, and like us on Facebook. We'll catch you guys next time. Go Magic.